Curious about whether healthcare in Panama is better than the USA? Are you scared about aging abroad due to healthcare costs? Have you ever wondered about medical care abroad? Well, you're in the right place. Did you know that Panama has a Johns Hopkins affiliated hospital? Or that people travel from all over the world to receive stem cell treatment in Panama? This video is just not a comparison of the two healthcare systems. It's a glimpse into my own medical experiences in Panama, those for some of my friends, and the associated costs for some of the visits. And some of them may shock you.
And it did not cost me an arm, a leg. It didn't cost me a finger. Healthcare in Panama is exceptional in comparison to the United States. And what I mean by that is...
My other company is called Expat Health Services. So I've been in healthcare here in Panama for 12 years.
We will discuss how different healthcare is in Panama, why I feel like the doctors here care more than they do in the USA. I will take you along with me to some of my appointments, including a home visit, a dentist, a general practitioner, getting my blood drawn, women's wellness exams, a hospital, prescriptions, how to find doctors, and lastly, how much medical expenses have been for my friends and I without health insurance. Oh, P.S. I have cerebral palsy. Ready to see what the healthcare experience in Panama is like? Let's go. I've noticed that the doctors here seem to genuinely care about their patients, and the doctor-patient relationship in Panama just feels different. They aren't afraid of being sued or aren't rushing you to the next appointment. I just don't think most doctors in the U.S. have the time to give the level of care that I've experienced in Panama. It's as if the insurance industry rules them as opposed to our health. If you watched my video on the 12 reasons why I don't want to live in the USA again, I discussed my very last healthcare experience in the US before I moved to Panama, which was for a colonoscopy. They refused to perform the procedure until they could confirm that I wasn't pregnant. They pumped me full of fluids via an IV for over an hour to no avail, and in the end I signed a waiver stating I wasn't pregnant. Mind you, I asked for that waiver right away because I knew I wouldn't be able to give them a urine sample. But no. The doctors here are more attentive and caring compared to my experiences in the US. Most of us living in Panama feel like we're actually a patient here and not an insurance claim or a number for the day. I've had doctors follow up with me on WhatsApp in the morning, evening, and night, and on the weekends. Yep, you heard me correctly, the weekends. How often does it happen in the US? I've never experienced that. The bedside manner here is like nothing I've experienced before other than my lifelong doctors who specialize in cerebral palsy, and they were my doctors since I was a child. This type of care and treatment is so refreshing, and it feels like how it used to be, or, to be honest, how it should be. There's a hospital in Brisas del Gulf that will see U.S. veterans. Here's what their website says. I've also linked the website in the description below. I hate going to the dentist, but like the gym, I see it as a necessary evil. I was pleasantly surprised at the level of detail and the types of questions that the dentist asked me. Questions like, when you bite down, which side of your mouth closes first? Do you snore? Do you have any cold or heat sensitivity? What medications are you currently taking? And do you have any diagnosed conditions? He then explained why he asked those questions and went into detail about the cleaning procedure and showed me pictures of my teeth while explaining dental care in the US versus Panama. My cleaning and inspection, sounds like a car, without any insurance, was $75. Quoted prices from other people for dental care is as follows. Please note that these prices are all over the place and are location dependent. For example, prices might be higher in Panama City versus Boquete. Also, some of these prices might include the jubilado discount, which is a discount given to those who are of a certain age. 60 for men and 55 years for women, or for those who have the pensionado visa. The Panama Pensionado program offers excellent medical discounts such as 20% discount on doctor's bills, 15% on hospital services if no insurance applies, 15% off dental and eye exams, and 10% discount on prescriptions. I'm a bit jealous. Tee. In this portion of the video, we will discuss 1 at-home visit and 2 in-office visits. I was having tummy issues shortly after I moved here and it wasn't going away. I contacted a doctor to make an appointment and apparently he was at the airport. Let's stop and let that sink in for a moment. How do I know he was at the airport? What doctors respond to someone who isn't even a patient, let alone when they're at the airport? Welcome to the healthcare in Panama. He ended up sending his colleague, who came to my house for an exam. Wait. I don't have to go to the doctor's office if I'm not feeling well? A doctor will come see me in the comfort of my home? Oh, my level of just being spoiled increased tenfold. Tee-hee. Panama's breeding a monster. Or a bigger one. Ha! The total visit cost was $60, including a script for labs. The doctor followed up repeatedly via WhatsApp even when I left Panama to quickly visit the US. When he followed up via WhatsApp to check in on me, it made me feel like I was in good hands and that he really cared. It felt more personal than what I experienced in the US. Okay, so we just gave an example of the at-home visit. Now let's take you into 2 doctors' offices. Just like the dentist, I really liked how they took the time to sit and talk to me. Just not about my health, but to get to know me. I was used to talking to doctors as they entered in information into the computer, but here, I don't feel rushed. One doctor's visit, I had my blood drawn in their office, and the other time was an issued script, which required me to go to a lab months later for follow-up testing. Here are the prices in Panama City. Side note, I also had to get my blood drawn to determine my blood test for the driver's license process here in Panama. One of my friends went to an urgent care clinic and was able to get a breast ultrasound, a steroid shot, and an urgent care doctor visit, all for, wait for it, $150 without insurance. My friend went to the ER and she had to pay $750 up front, and they gave her money back after she left since her care didn't total the amount of the initial charge. Here's what the emergency room in parts of the Pacifico Salud Hospital in Panama City look like. This is the one that's Johns Hopkins affiliated. I've also had another friend who had 3 coronary stents placed in her arteries. She went into the ER one night and had the procedure the next day. Here's her video. Side note, in line with my friend's experience with her blocked arteries, surgeries here can be quite expensive if you do not have insurance that covers your conditions, so it's best to have a substantial emergency fund or a credit card that has a high limit. A mammogram procedure was $104 at the hospital, and you received your results the next day. The gynecologist visit included an ultrasound for fibroids, which didn't require another appointment for the ultrasound. He did it right after my exam in the same room. The exam was $75, the pap smear was $80. The total came to $205 without insurance. I had an EKG performed at the hospital for $95. I got my results right away. Did I mention right away? Once again, they took the time to talk to me and explain everything. You can receive scripts for specialists without having to see your general practitioner. It can be done via WhatsApp. Pretty much, unless it's a narcotic, you can get medication here without needing a prescription. Let that sink in for a bit. So I don't have to go to the doctor for a follow-up visit just to get a prescription refilled? Here are some example costs for some medications here. Finding doctors here is just like you would in the States. You can look them up online, you can get referrals from friends, or in Panama, we ask in WhatsApp or Facebook groups. You can also use Panama Health Services, which my friend Mike Kelly is going to describe.
My other company is called Expat Health Services. So I've been in healthcare here in Panama for 12 years, and we offer concierge-style health services, including at-home consultations, video call, like telemed consultations with English-speaking doctors. We have a network of medical specialists, and we do healthcare relocation tours, which is unique here in Panama, where we actually take you over a day or 2 days to meet all of the doctors, specialists that you would need to manage your healthcare here in Panama.
Here is my friend Sherry, who's going to describe her experience with healthcare and orthopedics here.
Since being here, I had a physical therapist here in Panama that came to my home and helped me to recover. And if I did that in October, it's now February, and I am back walking fully, out of a boot, out of a brace, everything. And in the States, that would have been a much longer recovery period.
How would you describe the difference between healthcare in Panama and the USA?
The healthcare in Panama is exceptional in comparison to the United States. And what I mean by that is, number one, quality of care is equivalent or above that we get in the United States. And I would say above in a lot of ways. Just the personal care, the bedside manner is better here. The doctors actually care about you. They actually will take their time. I remember when I went to go see the orthopedic surgeon when I fractured my ankle, I was actually with the orthopedic surgeon for about an hour and a half where, they did x-rays, but then he sat and talked to me about what the actual recovery process would look like, explaining to me what my options were, because I could have done surgery here, but then he told me if I went to the States and did it, what I would need to express to the doctors there to make sure that I got the care that I needed. And then when I returned back to Panama, going back to him, he picked up my care here. And then I started physical therapy. Okay, so you guys know you go to physical therapy, you go to a center. No, a physical therapist came to my house 3 days a week. And it did not cost me an arm, a leg. It didn't cost me a finger. The cost was so minimal, but the care, the service was exceptional. I mean, she brought all of her equipment to my house. The laser, the Doppler, the everything. She came with this big, huge bag with all these tools that she would bring every week. And it was like I was in a center, but she was doing it in my home, and I was able to get my care in my home, which sped up my recovery. She even would follow up with me in between visits. The doctor would text me bi-weekly to check to see how I was doing. You guys know in the States, that does not happen. And on top of that, the cost. I don't have health insurance here. I paid out of pocket. Total from my I've had 3 appointments with my orthopedic surgeon from the initial one. X-rays every time I've gone for a visit, including my physical therapy, which I did for 2 months, 3 times a week. I did not spend $1,000.
Okay, y'all, you can't see my face, but my mouth just dropped.
So the healthcare in Panama is amazing. My doctor spoke English. My physical therapist spoke English. They were Panamanian, but they spoke English. So you can find English-speaking Panamanian doctors here. And I mean, there's nothing negative I can say about the healthcare here. That is definitely a plus if you're looking to come to Panama. I don't have any ongoing health issues, but if you have ongoing health issues, you're going to save, excuse my French, a buttload of money coming here. I mean, even so my husband does have some maintenance medication that he's on. We just go to the store, tell them the name of it, and they give it to the pharmacy and they give it to you. You don't have to go to your doctor, pay for an office visit to get a prescription to go get your medicine. You can just take them your bottle from the States and say, hey, can you refill this? If they have it, they refill it, and the cost is nominal. I mean, it's like 10 cents, 5 cents a bit. I mean, it's ridiculously cheap, but the level of care, and I want to stress it, it's not just cheap or inexpensive health care. The level of care is exceptional. They have a Johns Hopkins hospital here for veterans. They have the Breezes Hospital. There are clinics on every corner. I mean, there's no reason you can't get the care that you want. And healthcare here is phenomenal.
I started receiving physical therapy to help me walk better. They really took their time with me and gave me homework. At the time of this recording, I only had 1 visit with them that lasted around 2.5 hours and cost $35. I'm not sure if the $35 is a normal price for 2 hours, Orpha was just because it was my first visit and I had to give them my medical history and describe my issues. Either way, $35 for me is phenomenal and sustainable. There are various places to get your eyes examined and to receive new glasses. Out of convenience, I went to the Eye Center and PriceSmart. I would say that the price was on par for what I would have paid in the USA with insurance. The total cost, which included the eye exam, lenses, and a frame, was around $400. Side note, they asked me to read the letters that I saw in Spanish, and I made up a word for the letter Z. I'm glad he spoke some English. Tee. This was my first time seeing a holistic doctor in my life. He did a full body scan just by placing headphones on my ears. It did a complete scan from my head to my toes, examining everything in between. The cost was $120. I hope you found this video to be helpful and some of your questions and concerns about healthcare in Panama have been answered. If you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing, becoming a channel member, or watch this next video. See you in the next one!